The news media across the globe have been heaping praise on Samsung's cool new Galaxy S10 and S10 Plus smartphones. But amid all the raves about tech innovations and fancy features of these devices, they are still falling behind the fast-growing Chinese giants like Huawei, Xiaomi, Oppo and Vivo. I'm Steven from Tech Magnet, and in today's episode of The Truth About, we will have a closer look at Samsung's smartphone strategy and why the Galaxy S10 will be Samsung's last try to innovate. The Galaxy S10 Unpacked event is happening, and I will receive my device for reviews tomorrow. But today's video is not only about the S10 features, it's about Samsung's strategy in a market that has become tough and declining. Global smartphone production volume for 2019 is expected to be 1.41 billion units, a decrease of 3.3% compared with 2018, according to the latest report by TrendForce. Brands like Samsung would record lower production volumes this year because the overall demand outlook in the global smartphone market remains weak, something the Galaxy S10 needs to change. If the demand outlook becomes worse, together with uncertainties and impacts from the US-China trade war, the decline in global smartphone production may reach 5% in 2019. For the global ranking of smartphone market share, Samsung will remain the market leader, while Huawei is close to them in 2019 and will be number one maybe in 2020. Samsung produced 293 million smartphones in 2018. That's a year-over-year decline of 8%, while its market share has also shrunk. But why is this happening? Is it because their phones are bad or are they overpriced? No, definitely not. But since smartphones are our daily companions for years now, you can say that almost everyone has a smartphone. And we do not change our smartphones so fast as Samsung or other brands release new phones, right? So the market, especially in Europe and North America, has reached a saturation point. The same now goes for China, so Huawei had a slightly lower year-over-year growth and that caused them to freak completely out. So the reason is not the product. Samsung is a product innovation powerhouse, launching state-of-the-art devices that compete head-to-head with Apple mobile products and also Huawei's, and they're getting great reviews. But to the average user, the phones they just look like the same model with a higher number. So the reason for this loss of the market share lies actually elsewhere. For 2019, Samsung is expecting similar results like in 2018, though it plans on achieving sustainable growth with the help of new 5G and foldable devices. The Galaxy S10 is also expected to boost the sales number by finally looking different than the last models, because if you have a look at the old Galaxy devices, then you can clearly see that their innovation, at least from the optical point of view, got lost along the way. So you guys have seen all the leaks. There are different Galaxy S10 at a multitude of sizes, ranging from 5.8 inches to as large as 6.4 or 6.7 inches for the Galaxy S10 Plus. Samsung now tries to hold their position in the premium segment, but also will try to offer a more affordable version of their S10 to boost their sales over all budget regions. Samsung is using the Snapdragon 855 or the Exynos 9820 chipset, depending on your region. The storage ranges from the 128GB base right up to 1TB for the top tier S10 model. I think the S10 design looks really great, and we know Samsung is the king of OLEDs in smartphones. So the notch is actually so 2018, and this year will be the year of holes in the display. Huawei was the company that showed a lot of innovation in 2017, and now Samsung is actually trying to do the same. 4 cameras on the back, 2 in the front, an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, and they improved also something that was for me always a deal breaker on Samsung smartphones, which is the battery. So finally some decent size of 4100 mAh, and I really hope that this doesn't end like the Note 7. Samsung also adopted reverse wireless charging that Huawei announced with the Mate 20 Pro. Since I don't use any wireless in-ears or such accessories, it's really a useless feature for me, as the charging speed between the smartphones is very slow, so something that Huawei has really cheated on in their marketing. So with the S10, this is Samsung's last try to get back to the crown for Samsung in the field of innovation. But why has Samsung actually stopped innovating over the past years and just relaunched their devices, and sometimes even with very similar hardware? The reason is that the smartphone business isn't very good for Samsung. Same goes for LG and Sony. but Samsung is definitely on a better way than them. The following chart shows the tale of the two key divisions for Samsung, telecommunications and semiconductors, and its impact on the bottom lines and how they have grown over the years. The semiconductor division now contributes to 78% of the total Samsung Electronics operating profits. It's pretty funny because the customers, Apple, Chinese brands and Qualcomm, actually drive also a part of the semiconductor business growth. So it doesn't really matter which brand it is, but with smartphones, making money is very hard in a saturated market like now, and with devices that barely have unique selling points. So believe it or not guys, the mobile and display panel business revenue is dropping hard for Samsung. But the semiconductor business like memory, NAND and DRAM saw revenues grow a massive 31% year over year. So Samsung is compensating the smartphones with their semiconductor business and other stuff like pharma or home appliances. And Huawei is doing that by selling their network equipment. So it's right now all about the market share, not substantially the revenue. Also, Samsung has been very successful in placing similar looking phones in a very closely placed price range, where it becomes difficult to even differentiate variants at times. However, in a mass market like India, having more models helps in better penetration of the product, and it's the same strategy that also Xiaomi is following. Samsung actually has a ton more models than the Galaxy, but nobody here speaks about them. In fact, the budget J series is a high runner. Also, the marketing is very different to Huawei's marketing, and Huawei really understands the power of local markets combined with a global strategy and targets the devices closely to the market demands. Samsung said that it will invest about 22 billion over the next 3 years in growth areas such as artificial intelligence and 5G technology. That would be part of Samsung's overall 161 billion investment plans that includes capital expenditure and research and development. But also Huawei spent for 5G technologies in particular around 15 billion USD just in 2018. So it's not about the actual race of selling more smartphones, it's about being the leading company in the next big technology, which is 5G. So the question is, will the Samsung Galaxy S10 change all that? Well, I'm pretty sure it will have a way bigger impact than the S9, as the S9 was not really innovative and had a very soft impact on the market. But also Huawei will have a big surprise with the Huawei P30 on the 26th of March. So it will be a tough battle between the Korean giant Samsung and the Chinese giant Huawei. So I really hope that you guys liked that episode of The Truth About, and if you liked it, please like this video and leave a comment. So if you want to see more and my reviews of the S10 coming this week, then also subscribe. As always guys, big thanks for watching. I'm Steven from Tech Magnet, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a nice day and bye.